Hello and welcome viewers. Let's dive straight into the top stories at this hour on Superfast 50. Rahul Gandhi has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate for the third time today in the Freedom Struggle for Profit case. The former Congress chief is under the scanner of the ED in a money laundering case linked to the National Herald newspaper and was questioned on Monday as well as on Tuesday, with the agency sleuths apparently not satisfied by his answers. As part of Rahul Gandhi's questioning, Republic learnt that the Wayanad MP was shown documents pertaining to his own shareholding in Young India Private Limited, specific financial transactions involving Associated Journals Limited, and was also asked to go through these documents. Republic has also learned that the answers and explanations given by Rahul Gandhi were not satisfactory and that he also avoided certain questions. Congress workers' protests turned violent as former Congress President Rahul Gandhi was summoned by the Enforcement Directorate for the third time for questioning in the National Herald and Freedom Struggle for Profit scam case. The Congress protesters further warned that the ruling dispensation will have to face consequences if it didn't stop. The Freedom Struggle for Profit case and controversy continues to rage on. Congress workers and supporters have been carrying out protests across the nation against the Enforcement Directorate, which continues to grill Rahul Gandhi. A huge contingent of police and paramilitary personnel were deployed across the central agencies, offices, and prohibitory orders under Section 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure were also put in force, though it did not deter the Congress from creating mayhem nonetheless.
में हमारे पास कर रहे हैं बीजेपी की सरकार के दबाव में हम अपने नेता के साथ शांतिपूर्वक क्या जाने का अधिकार नहीं है।
लेकिन मैडम पुलिस ने तो मना किया था यहाँ।
नहीं, कैसे मना किया था? हम अपने नेता के साथ नहीं जा सकते।
नेता के साथ ये भी तो जाते हैं अपने नेता के साथ। हम नहीं जा सकते। हम नहीं जा सकते। You can see that the protest is getting all riled up over here. They continue to protest over here. One more female protester being dragged in the bus over here, the police van over here. They continue to do so.
Congress workers' protests turned violent and created complete mayhem outside the ED's office. Amid the Congress's offensive against the Centre for summons issued by the Enforcement Directorate to Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, many party workers were detained. Meanwhile, Congress Neta Randeep Surjewala was seen in defensive mode as he justified the all-out violence throughout the country by calling it a satyagraha somehow, even as the Congress workers set fire to tires and sparked a towering blaze outside the ED's office.
आप नेम प्लेट उतार कर अगर दफ्तर के दरवाजे तोड़कर गुंडागर्दी करेंगे तो फिर ये मत समझिए कि कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता चुप बैठे रहेंगे, फिर हमें जवाब देना भी आता है। ये तो श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी और श्री राहुल गांधी की हिदायत है कि हमें हर हालत में लाठियां खाकर भी गांधीवादी और शांति प्रिय तरीके से चलना है, इसलिए हम संयम बरत रहे हैं।
Congress workers' protests turned violent in Guwahati as well. Republic has accessed a video in which party workers were seen assaulting police officials who were present at the protest site, with a top officer of the Guwahati police sustaining an injury to his face. The Guwahati Assistant Commissioner of Police, who was trying to douse the situation, was attacked with a flagstaff. He was seen bleeding from the left side of his face close to his eye. Now, the Congress has claimed that Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Dipender Singh Hooda has been placed under house arrest by the Delhi police and that his residence has been sealed. Taking to Twitter, Congress shared a video of outside Hooda's residence where heavy police force was deployed. The party asked which of the country's laws permits putting a Rajya Sabha MP under house arrest without any reason. Meanwhile, justifying the ongoing violence, Congress leader Jitendra Singh said that this is happening because the ruling party, the BJP, Prime Minister Modi and even the Home Minister of India are using the ED agency. He further went on to say that the agency is being used to crush the opposition in India as the whole system has been taken over by the ruling BJP.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता का मनोबल बढ़ा है और दूसरे दल जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का व्यंग करते थे, हमारे कार्यकर्ता को झंडा झंडा पार्टी कहा करते थे, आज वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का दरवाजा खटखटाते हैं कि हमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी का डंडा दीजिए।
The BJP lambasted the Congress as well as its top leaders Sonia and Rahul Gandhi over the ongoing protests against the ED summons in the National Herald case and asserted that the law of the land will catch up with them. BJP spokesperson Sudhanshu Trivedi further went on to say that from the ongoing stir, it looks like the Congress is neck deep in corruption and has resorted to violence countrywide.
उसी गांधी के नाम के उत्तराधिकारी, उन्हीं गांधी जी के नाम के स्वघोषित स्वयंभू होल सोल कॉपीराइट होल्डर, और वो आज पहली स्थिति तो ये कि ये एक ऐसा भ्रष्टाचार का मामला है। आपने सुना होगा कि सत्ता में रहते हुए सत्ताधारी पार्टी के ऊपर भ्रष्टाचार के तमाम आरोप आजादी के बाद के दौर में लग चुके हैं।
BJP spokesperson Sudhanshu Trivedi continued his broadside against the grand old party, saying that earlier when the Congress was in power, it had flagrantly misused the power instilled in the government and had violated the Constitution of India as well.
अगर ये कहा जाए कि जिस प्रकार की हरकतें विगत 3 दिनों से दिखाई पड़ रही हैं और हिंसा की आड़ लेकर भ्रष्टाचार को छुपाने का प्रयास हो रहा है, तो कितनी लघुता, कितना छोटापन नेतृत्व का दिखाई पड़ रहा है। यह साफ दिख जाता है कि गांधी के दौर से सोनिया गांधी जी और राहुल गांधी जी के दौर तक आते आते कांग्रेस कितनी छोटी और कितनी बौनी होती चली जा रही है।
Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, in an exclusive interview with Republic TV, said that the law and order situation in New Delhi was getting out of hand. The leader, who has been protesting for the Gandhis and has been detained a couple of times, has in his capacity as a parliamentarian at the head of the PAC, reverse summoned the Delhi Police Commissioner Rakesh Asthana.
This is nothing but a barbaric act perpetrated by this present dispensation led by the BJP party. Sometimes I think that it's a government of the criminals, for the criminals, by the criminals. Otherwise, how would they have directed their officials to go inside the AICC headquarters and started raining the lathis on our workers? It is nothing but a barbaric act.
The special investigation team constituted to probe the 1984 anti-Sikh riots has arrested 4 people from Ghatampur in joint action with the Kanpur police. DIG Balendu Bhushan Singh, who headed the anti-Sikh riot special investigation team, said more than 75 people were under the scanner. He added that nobody will be spared in this serious crime and that more action will be taken.
जिंदा हैं वो 70 के आसपास हैं, अभी 4 हुए हैं तो 65-66 बचे हैं, उनकी सबकी गिरफ्तारी का प्रयास हम लोग।
इनमें से कई काफी बुजुर्ग भी हैं, तो उनको लेकर के क्या?
अब बुजुर्ग वाले में वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों से राय मशविरा लिया जाएगा, न्यायालय के भी संज्ञान में लाया जाएगा, जैसा भी निर्देश होगा उसी के हिसाब से कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
BJP leader Manjinder Singh Sirsa hailed the special investigation team in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots investigation for their latest action. He said that the SIT constituted by the efforts of the DSGMC to investigate the massacre has resulted in arrests of 4 people. Sirsa also hailed the Home Minister on the efforts to make the arrests. Kashmir IGP Vijay Kumar said that 2 terrorists were killed in the Kulgam encounter and that one of the terrorists was Jan Mohammed, who had shot and killed bank manager Vijay Kumar from Rajasthan just a few weeks earlier. The second killing of the terrorist has been identified as of Tufail Ganais. Incriminating materials, arms and ammunition, including 1 AK-47 rifle and also a pistol, were recovered from the site of the encounter.
मैनेजर थे विजय कुमार साहब, उस पर अटैक हुआ था। तो जब उसका सीसी फुटेज को हम लोग एनालिसिस किए थे, तो जो चेहरा मिल रहा था जॉन मोहम्मद लोन, जो शोपियन के टेररिस्ट है, उसके पेरेंट्स को बुलाए। पेरेंट्स ने कंफर्म कर दिया कि यही चेहरा है, उसके बेटा है। फिर उसके पेरेंट्स ने बताया, खास करके फादर ने, कि पिछले 2 महीना से काफ़ी ये रेडिटाइज से बात करता था, रात भर ऑनलाइन चैटिंग करते रहता था।
Massive NIA raids were held across Baramulla and Jammu and Kashmir after NIA's morning raid at the residence of a salesman associated with line of control trade in Baramulla. The NIA officials also visited the residence of a Zahoor Ahmad Malla, who is currently lodged in Udhampur jail, and also probed an alleged drugs angle as well.
जहां कश्मीर घाटी में ये रेड्स वगैरह चल रही थी, उन लोकेशंस पे कुछ ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स के साथ साथ कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स को भी वहां पर रिकवर किया गया है। फिलहाल आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं, ग्लैरो व्हीकल में जो गाड़ी है, यही भी NIA ऑफिशियल्स की गाड़ी है, जहां पे ये छापा कार्रवाई चल रही थी। बारामुल्ला का ख्वाजाबाग खदपोरा इलाका है ये। कुछ टाइम पहले यहाँ से निकल रहे हैं, अब किसी नेक्स्ट लोकेशन पर जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Income tax department searches were reported at over 24 locations in Tamil Nadu in a tax evasion case against MGM Group, a diversified conglomerate group of companies headquartered in Chennai with interests in logistics, in distilleries, in hospitality, theme parks and in trading. Pro-Khalistan slogans were spotted on walls near Jalandhar at Shakti Peeth Devi Talab Mandir in Jalandhar. Punjab police said that they are checking the CCTV footage to find out who wrote the pro-Khalistan slogans. This comes ahead of Delhi Chief Minister and AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann making a joint visit to Jalandhar. TRS Chief and Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has decided to skip the meeting called by Mamata Banerjee over the presidential polls. This move comes ahead of Chief Minister KCR's plan to enter into national politics by launching a party called the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti. Along with the TRS, the Aam Aadmi Party has also decided to not attend Mamata's meeting, saying that they would consider the issue only after the candidate for the upcoming presidential elections was declared. Both the parties are also upset with the Congress being invited to the meeting. During the district level Congress Chintan Shivir in Karnataka, there was a big uproar among the party workers at Davangere MBA institution's premises. After a leader interrupted a speech, the followers engaged in a huge brawl. In a big announcement, the Ministry of Home Affairs has decided to give priority to AGNIVEERS who successfully complete their 4 years of service in recruitment to the Central Armed Police Forces as well as the Assam Rifles. Addressing a press conference in relation with the AGNIPATH military recruitment scheme announced yesterday, Vice Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General B.S. Raju said that 90 days from now, the first recruitment rallies will take place. Approximately 180 days from now, the first of the recruits will be in the training centers, and approximately a year from now, the first batch of AGNIVEERS will be inducted into the battalions. Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi said that the new army recruitment scheme Agnipath launched by the Defence Ministry will instill patriotism and unity among the youth. He also added that the aim of the scheme is to sync technology, army and skill India. Air Marshal Sri Kumar Prabhakaran, Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Western Air Command, has also spoken about the Agnipath scheme. He said that those who want to join the armed forces do so to serve the country, and further added that the young men who will serve for 4 years will get ethos of the forces and will emerge as much better citizens. Seeking to counter gold smuggling case, prime accused Swapna Suresh's latest claim about her once close relation with Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and his family, the CMO released a 2-year-old video in which he was saying that she had visited his official residence several times along with the then UAE Consul General for official purposes. There was an incidence of a black color ban protest, and 10 scenes were witnessed playing out on the streets of Thiruvananthapuram with black masks and black dresses in a fresh protest against Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. The BJP held the protest wearing black, and the police were seen using water cannons on the protesters. Suspended BJP MLAs and West Bengal leader of the opposition SUVENDU Adhikari staged a protest at West Bengal Assembly. In March this year, 5 BJP MLAs were suspended by the West Bengal Assembly Speaker following a clash with Trinamool Congress MLAs on the floor of the House over the Birbhum violence. A study by the ICMR and Bharat Biotech has found that the administration of COVAXIN as a third and booster dose enhances vaccine effectiveness against COVID-19's Delta variant and gives protection against Omicron's variants BA.1.1 and BA.2. The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved a proposal of the Department of Telecommunication to conduct spectrum auctions through which spectrum will be assigned to successful bidders for providing 5G services to public and enterprises. 72,097.85 megahertz of radio wave spectrum will be put on the block by July end. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar welcomed Spanish Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez, who has arrived in New Delhi. This is the first official visit of the Spanish Foreign Minister to India. A statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs said that Alvarez will hold talks with his Indian counterpart on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest between the two countries. Ahead of the big meeting today called by Mamata Banerjee to discuss a joint strategy for the presidential elections, AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi said that he has not been invited. Owaisi went on to add that even if he had been invited, he wouldn't have gone for the meeting. He went on to call it the Trinamool Congress's blasphemy and added that no one from the AIM would have gone to the meeting because the Trinamool Congress invited the Congress party. Speaking on Mamata Banerjee's meeting for the opposition to deliberate on a presidential election candidate, the YSRCP's MP V. Vijay Reddy said that the party had not received an invitation. He added that the decision on extending support to any candidate will be taken by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. Independent MLA Navneet Rana Independent MP Navneet Rana and her independent MLA husband Ravi Rana said that they have faith in the court and believe in the judiciary, highlighting that they have had sedition charges imposed on them just for chanting the Hanuman Chalisa. The couple was appearing before a court in Mumbai in the matter of their bail and the hearing was adjourned. Navneet Rana also said that Shiv Sena leader Anil Parab should be put behind bars.
राम के क्या होंगे ये संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्र की जनता पूछ रही है और मुझे लगता है कि आज जो अयोध्या में गए हैं वो जो पाप धोने गए वो पाप उनके महाराष्ट्र के अंदर पूरी तरह से महाराष्ट्र की जनता धोएंगी। मुंबई महानगर पालिका इलेक्शन में राज्य और एमएलसी के चुनाव में उनको पता चलेगा राम का हनुमान का अपमान करने वालों को क्या सबक सिखाते और उसी तरह अनिल परब जो आज ईडी में तारीख है अनिल परब के पाप का घड़ा भरा हुआ है उस पे आज अटक होंगी कार्रवाई होगी।
The Save Our Sisters Forum, an organization formed to support nuns opposing Bishop Franco Mullakkal following the rape allegation against him, has now written a letter to Pope Francis against the alleged move to reinstate him as the Bishop of Jalandhar, claiming that a trial court exonerating him in the case was not final and an appeal challenging it was pending before the High Court. A special NIA court has dismissed the third successful bail application of an accused in the murder of an RSS worker in Kerala in 2016. Asim Sharif, one of the accused in the case, has been in custody since November 2016. Two suspected cow slaughterers were arrested after they were injured in a gunfight with the police in Uttar Pradesh's Noida. The official said that 4 other associates, however, managed to escape during the encounter, which had broken out. The CBI has summoned Trinamool Congress MLA Saukat Moila for questioning in the case of alleged coal theft from the mines in West Bengal. The CBI asked the MLA to appear for questioning at its office in Kolkata to answer questions pertaining to alleged theft and payments made thereof. As part of the Union government's special outreach program to get a first-hand appraisal of various development parameters, Union Minister of State for Home Affairs and Youth Affairs and Sports, Nishit Parmanik, visited Baramulla. Pramanik made a surprise appearance at a local restaurant in Baramulla and interacted with the locals there as well.
हर इस सरकार के जो मंत्री महोदय है सभी को हम लोग सिर्फ दिल्ली में बैठने के लिए मंत्री नहीं बनाया गया है, बल्कि एकदम ग्रास रूट में जाकर लोगों के साथ मिलकर ग्राउंड ज़ीरो में रियलिटी क्या है उसको भी महसूस कर फिर जो केंद्र में जाकर बैठकर डिसीजन लेना है।
A massive motorcycle rally of the BJP was seen organized in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. A large number of bikers were seen participating in the motorcycle rally, which was celebrating the completion of 8 years of the Modi government at the centre. Veteran actor Saira Banu said that her late husband and actor Dilip Kumar should be honoured with the Bharat Ratna as he is the Kohinoor of the country. Saira Banu attended the Bharat Ratna Dr. Ambedkar Award where Union Minister Ramdas Athavale presented an honour to Dilip Kumar posthumously. Dilip Kumar had passed away last year at the age of 98. Ahead of the presidential elections, the opposition's bid for unity appears to be in tatters even before kickoff, with many parties and leaders deciding to skip the crucial meeting called by Mamata Banerjee in Delhi today. Before the meeting, Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge asserted that the opposition needs to unite to fight against the BJP in the presidential polls, but simply by being there, the Congress has deterred the TRS and the AIMIM from joining the meeting.
जो वो किसी ढंग से वो हमारे नेता को हमारे पार्टी को डिमोरलाइज करने के लिए हरासमेंट करने के लिए ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम बड़े मजबूत हैं। इनके प्रश्नों से इनके डराने से हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं।
A controversy erupted after a video of former IPS officer Kiran Bedi purportedly cracking a joke aimed at Sikhs at the launch of a book, Fearless Governance, went viral. The Aam Aadmi Party accused Kiran Bedi of hurting the sentiments of the Sikh community. Later on, Kiran Bedi expressed regret over her remarks, saying that she has the highest regard and admiration for the Sikh community, and also shared details of the horrific threats and comments that she'd received in return. Maharashtra Minister and Shiv Sena leader Aditya Thackeray has landed in Lucknow to embark on a visit to Ayodhya. Just before leaving, he'd said that it is a non-political visit. Aditya Thackeray will seek the blessings of Ram Lalla. He will also visit the construction site of the Ram Mandir and participate in an aarti on the banks of the Sarayu River. Swift and timely action by the NDRF and the SDRF teams proved fruitful as Rahul Sahu, an 11-year-old boy who fell into a 60 feet deep borewell in Chhattisgarh, was rescued after a 104-hour-long rescue operation. As informed by the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister's office, Rahul was taken to Bilaspur Apollo Hospital and is currently in the ICU under supervision of a team of specialist doctors. Uma Bharti's slow burn crusade against liquor shops continues. The BJP firebrand was seen throwing cow dung at a liquor shop in Orcha in Madhya Pradesh. She said also that alcohol will not be tolerated in the city of Ram. Earlier also, Uma Bharti had expressed her discontent by throwing stones at a liquor shop in Bhopal. Incessant showers led to many areas across the city of Guwahati coming under knee to waist deep water. Because of the heavy rains, the Assam government has issued an advisory for the residents of Guwahati and the surrounding districts to not leave their homes unless it is absolutely necessary.
News to disturb normal life in the city for a second consecutive day. We are right now in the Anil Nagar area of Guwahati, one of the worst affected areas, and you can see how life has come to a complete standstill.
India's first ever private train between Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore to Maharashtra Shirdi under the Bharat Gaurav scheme of the Indian Railways has been flagged off. With this, the Southern Railways becomes the first zone in the Indian Railways to get a private registered service provider and to commence the operations of the maiden service from Coimbatore North to Sainagar in Shirdi. India's Olympic gold medalist and pride Neeraj Chopra set a new national record and finished with a silver medal with a throw of 89.3 meters at the Paavo Nurmi Games in Finland, bettering his own previous national record of 88.07 meters, which he had set in Patiala in March last year. Indian men's football team captain Sunil Chhetri has become the joint 5th highest goal scorer in international football history. Chhetri achieved this feat during India's AFC Asian Cup qualifier against Hong Kong, where he scored his 84th goal. He has now equaled legendary Real Madrid and Hungarian player Ferenc Puskás's goal-scoring exploits on the international level. Lauding India's high-tech prowess, US Department of State spokesperson Ned Price has now said that India is a massive consumer market and a massive producer of high-tech and highly sought-after goods as well. There are a number of areas where these countries can work together, he added.
Deepening trade and economic ties between these countries is in our interest when it comes to the relationship between Israel and the UAE. That's something we have sought to deepen. These two countries have, of course, deepened their relationship in recent years, including in the economic realm. India, of course, is a massive market. It is a massive consumer market. It's a massive producer of high-tech